My brother is a freeloader, so I want to ban him from my birthday dinner.
You don't get any piece of my birthday cake today.
My younger brother has always been kind of a mooch. He was always my father's favorite son, and therefore was always catered to whenever he wanted something, especially money, with no consequences. I, on the other hand, was usually told no, or in the best of circumstances, told that there would be consequences. By the way, this comes from Chaos Break 75. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Angie.
And I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for over a decade, he had my parents paying his expensive rent and utilities while at the same time flaunting expensive foods he was purchasing whenever they'd send him money. Now he's married to a woman who has 3 kids from a previous marriage. She is nice, definitely nicer than my brother deserves, and her 2 youngest kids are nice as well. One is in college and lives on campus, one is in high school. Her oldest is kind of clueless, and I'm not too fond of her. She doesn't live with them. But even though he now has a spouse who works 2 jobs, he still constantly mooches off my mother. Always asking for money, always getting it, regardless of whether my mother can actually afford to do so or not. The stress of one loan even put her in the hospital for a week.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Yikes.
The one thing that always gets under my skin is how whenever there is the possibility of getting a free meal out of my mother, their entire family shows up. They live a state away, about 1.5 to 2 hour drive, and whenever there is a holiday meal to be had, both personal or national, each and every one of her kids finds a way to drop everything to make sure they are there, especially if it's a dining out situation, because my mother always insists on paying. My brother takes over the ordering of the meals and makes sure there is more than needed so that they can have leftovers to bring back home with them. Whenever they are boxed up to go, my brother snatches them up as if he paid for them himself. My mother is way too nice to say anything to his face, but she has told me multiple times that she hates how he takes advantage of her. The latest event was during my sister-in-law's birthday earlier this month. My mother offered to take her and my brother out for a nice dinner, but sure enough, all 3 kids showed up with them, and the oldest thought it would be okay to bring her new boyfriend as well.
Oh my god.
I was not there due to work, so I didn't see this go down. If I was, I would have snapped on them. But like I said, my mother is too nice. Of course, too much food was ordered, the check was very expensive, and all the leftovers were snatched up before anyone could do anything about it.
Ugh.
My mother was beyond PO'd and told me after the fact that the next time she invites specific people over for a meal, those are the people that had better show up. Or at least the only ones that you're going to pay for.
Yeah, right? It's like
Yeah.
inviting, if you got an invite, then you got
Yeah.
my money.
Then I will pay for your meal. Otherwise, if anyone else does, everyone will be turned away, family or not. Honestly, I feel the same way. I've told my brother many times that my mother is not made of money and that he can't keep telling her it'll just be me and my wife that will drop by, and then 3 extra people that she didn't budget for show up unannounced. My brother always waves me off, kind of like how my father used to, and tells me it's not a big deal. I'm at the point where I don't want them around regardless of the holidays. The main reason I'm writing this here is because my birthday was this past weekend, and it was a milestone.
Happy
a
birthday.
big one. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I hope it was happy. Do we think it's going to be?
No,
No.
I'm scared.
Ah.
Of course, my mother wanted to go out to dinner to celebrate. I felt that after the sister-in-law's birthday situation, I didn't want any of my brother's family there at all. I'm content with it just being me and my mother. But knowing her, she will tell him the when and where, and then every single one of them, their significant others, and their dogs will show up expecting to get fed for free. Would I be the a-hole for not inviting my brother's family to my milestone birthday dinner? I don't think so.
After all of that, I really don't think so.
I feel like it's perfectly reasonable to be like, I just want a birthday dinner with my mom.
Yeah, honestly.
But we have some comments. Commenter 1, I'm very bewildered. She's an adult woman and she's not able to say no, but she goes and complains to her other child who tries to fix the situation that her mother puts herself in. Not the a-hole, but goodness, your mom needs to take personal responsibility. OP says, I agree that she definitely needs to speak up for herself, but like I said, she is too nice. I've gotten on her about this issue multiple times, but as I live about an hour from her and aren't there for most of these incidents, I hear about them after the fact. By not inviting them to my dinner, I'm hoping it will be a big signal that things need to change, not only for her, but for him as well. Someone replies, your mother will not talk to your brother directly, but she complains about him behind his back. You and I have different definitions of nice. Someone replies, if your mom wants to keep bringing a problem to your table, but not actually want to work towards a solution, then you are not a support. You're simply a venting board. That's very one-sided emotional dumping. She needs to be told to either open her dang mouth and stand up for herself, maybe even with you by her side for support, or stop trauma dumping her feelings on you. Not the a-hole, but she won't start setting boundaries with your brother until you start setting boundaries with her as a support system. Good luck. Comment 2. Every time she goes to mention him, stop her. Tell her it bothers you how she lets him take advantage of her, and as you have no choice in the matter, you're no longer willing to hear about it. If she persists, get off the phone or take your leave if it's in person. Also, if you still want to have a birthday dinner with her without him and his family forcing their way in, insist you pick her up and bring her to the restaurant and don't tell her where beforehand. It's sad to have to go there, but you can still find a way to have a relationship with her without enabling her to enable him and keep your own boundaries. That's a really smart idea.
It's honestly pretty smart. Yeah.
Smart.
You could do some scheming over here.
Yes. She makes the plans. You show up. She go, Mom, we're not doing any of that.
Right.
Get in the car.
Yeah.
She's
Put
at the
blindfold
restaurant
on.
texting them, and she's like, we're actually over here now. Come over
Right. I
here."
know. I was kind of thinking about that. Like, you'd have to have everyone. Like, I feel like they would just start calling people, and you'd have to have everyone like mute them,
Yeah.
mute their phones. So it's just like, no, just keep
And
them
you're like,
away.
Hey, Mom, get in the car. Give
Yeah.
me your phone.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so we're not
feel-
following any of the plans.
We're not doing any of that. And you're totally safe right now. Don't worry.
Don't even worry about it,
Don't
Mom.
worry. I've got you.
Comment 3. Until Mom figures out her extreme people-pleasing and favoritism, put her on an information diet. Don't tell her where you want to go. She will tell them, hoping that they magically act right and fulfill her desire for him to suddenly stop pulling this crap. He will not. He will do it again because he's done it for decades. They're about 2 hours away, so just tell Mom that you're coming over sometime on the weekend and you can go from there. Then just show up. The first thing she's going to do is compulsively tell him you're there and try to stall you so they can make it. Don't give in. Tell her that you go right now or you'll have to show up another day. Then have her silence her phone for 2 hours so she can actually pay attention to you on your B-Day instead of making it about him. Update 1 month later.
Do we think she's going to go with all of these plans? These are great plans,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like it's not going to go that
I feel
easily.
like she's going to find some way around it somehow. But
yeah, or she's just going to get mad. Like, I feel like the mom
Right.
is just going to be so mad at OP for
But do you
trying
think that she'll ruin the birthday dinner over it still?
The mom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like the mom wouldn't want to ruin the birthday dinner, but she probably also wouldn't think that that would ruin the birthday dinner,
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So, maybe.
I don't know. Update 1 month later. It's been a while since I posted the original, so I thought I'd leave an update as to what happened when my birthday dinner actually took place. So my mother wanted to take me out to dinner for my birthday, and I laid out some ground rules before we invited everyone. I told her that the only people I wanted to attend were me, her, my brother, and his wife. No one else. So an update, we got more people then.
Okay.
I also told her that if they tried to push to have their kids attend, the only people that would be attending the dinner would be me and my mother. I wanted my mother to finally put her foot down about this issue, since she's the one who is always getting screwed by my brother, to straight up tell him that his behavior in the past was no longer going to be tolerated. And it worked!
Oh, what?
By the way, you know what also works?
What?
You go and listen to full episodes with stories just like this. You just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime, and it'll work. Stories will show up.
That's
you can
true.
listen to them.
Technology works, guys.
It's crazy. I hope it
Whoa.
works. We got a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
How do you think this went?
Well, if it worked, then
Do we think it worked perfectly, or?
I'm thinking it did.
Okay.
I just want to find out now. That was like a
Let's-
cliffhanger to leave off on.
Let's just find out then. Sure enough, my brother and his wife agreed to the terms, made sure that their kids would be spending the day of the dinner with their birth father, and we all had a nice time at dinner talking and catching up over some good food.
Okay.
How was that so easily resolved then?
That's great.
And there were no leftovers to take home either. They were surprisingly okay with the new rules.
Okay.
I think my mom gave him a good what for about it. I just hope this behavior continues. Major holidays excluded, of course. Some comments. Commenter 1, I'm so glad it worked out. It blows my mind that people are so selfish. Me and my husband and my sister/brother-in-law and my parents briefly scuffle over the check, but in our cases, we are all trying to pay for everyone else, not trying to mooch.
Yeah.
That's the end of that story.
Wow. Okay, so
It worked.
all it took was some
Yay.
good old-fashioned communication.
We just had to set terms to our
Yeah.
birthday dinner.
That's all we had to do.
It's that easy the
That
whole
was
time.
this whole time.
That's crazy.
Maybe we could have done this sooner.
Maybe
Maybe.
that could work.
My mother promised me my dream trip for 10 years now, but it never happened.
Go take your own dream trip.
Hey Reddit, I, 21 female, am posting here because I don't really know where else to post and I could use some advice. If I come across as ungrateful, it is truly unintentional. Something else you should know is my family rarely goes on fancy trips. When I was little, we would, but not since I was around 1 or 2. I also should mention that I have an older half-brother. I hate that term though, so I just say older brother. We haven't gone on a fancy vacation with him since I was 2 years old. He travels all the time with his other family, and I always wished we could go on a trip like that with him. This becomes important later. By the way, this comes from username, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers, so we're just going to guess what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So,
Yeah.
OP says, one more thing. My dad has told me hundreds of times that he has no interest in seeing England, France, Scotland, or Ireland. He
Yeah.
said that he would rather go to Asia,
okay.
Italy, Spain, or even back to Greece if he were to travel more after he retires. Okay, let's get into this. My entire life, I have dreamed of going to Paris. I wanted to see the world, of course, but Paris? Oh boy, it took the cake. It was my holy grail of places. I talked about it all the time growing up. When I went into school, I went to a French immersion school. I was so excited to get to learn French. My mom told me that once I turned 12 and graduated from elementary, her and I would finally go to Paris. It would be our special thing. I was beyond excited. I would go to school and tell all my friends. Well, I finally turned 12 and graduated elementary, and I couldn't wait because I knew it meant we would be planning our trip. But I was met with disappointment. My mom explained that we just could not afford it. But she made me the same promise for graduating junior high. I was disappointed, but understanding. My family is a middle-class family, not poor, but also not a ton of money. We are fortunate enough to have lots of luxuries, but travel is not one of them. I told myself, it's fine, it's just a few more years. But what I didn't see coming was my mental health. My mental health took a massive hit in junior high to the point that I wasn't going to school anymore. We couldn't figure out what was wrong. I was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, depression, stress disorders, and internalized borderline personality disorder. It caused a lot of tension in my house. I knew Paris was off the table. Eventually, though, I was able to take charge of it and went into high school with a fresh start, only to have the vid trap me back in my house. That sucks.
OP.
Oh my gosh. My mom told me if I worked hard in high school, we would finally go to Paris after I graduated. I was eager, but I was also a little behind my classmates. I went into high school accepting the fact that I would likely not graduate with my class, but I still worked hard. One of my semesters in grade 12, I even made honors. I managed to graduate and receive my certificate, taking an extra year to get my diploma, but nonetheless, I got to walk with my class. I did it. A few months before my grad, I brought up Paris again, a common occurrence. My mom told me that we had been invited to a wedding in Greece and that instead of Paris, we would be going there. I was excited.
Okay, also though, if you're over in Greece, is a pretty quick
Like,
hop,
pretty
skip, and a
close.
jump over to Paris,
Right.
right?
Europe is small.
Right.
Greece is like on the far end. It's
Sure.
like 5
But
hour
like,
flight.
if we're already over in Europe,
yeah, it would be.
Definitely
it depends on
closer
where
than
you're coming
America.
from.
Yeah. I was excited. Greece was incredible. But I was disappointed when I found out it wasn't Paris. But I knew it was a big deal if we could afford almost all of us, except unfortunately my older brother, to go to Greece. I asked her if we would ever get to Paris. She once again promised me if you do it well enough in your upgrade year and get your diploma, then we will finally go. That came and went. Then she promised me after my first year of university, then the second. But then it was about the money. Yeah, I feel like it was always about the money. I don't think it was
I'm
ever
just-
about like you deserving it.
stop promising.
So I started putting my own money aside. Okay,
Hey!
that's great. Cool. Then 2 years ago, my friend invited me to go see Taylor Swift in, you guessed it, Paris. That would be
Well,
cool.
There you go.
I was so excited. I was finally going to see it. The city I dreamt about for my whole life.
She's like, I don't even care about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I just want to go
Paris.
there. The place my mom had dangled in front of my face for my whole life. I told my mom and dad the dates. They said if I could afford it, I could go. I even asked mom to come so we could finally have our trip. We would spend a little bit of time with my friend and her dad, but then we would each go off and do our own vacation. My mom said that sounded awesome and she would seriously think about it. I had already had a little money put aside and continued saving. It was all I talked about for months. Then Christmas came along. My parents gifted my siblings and me a family trip to Cabo San Lucas. My dad had a timeshare there that he had not used in over 18 years. Oh, wow. I was so excited because it was a big deal that we were going on a trip, and we were going with my older brother. I asked when the trip was. They said there were two choices, a week in May or a week in September. They chose May. Well,
Ugh.
guess what? It was the same week I was supposed to be in Paris. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I was literally like, I had no idea how that could go wrong. I had such a great plan.
Can you not just pick Paris over that trip? I mean, I
You
get that it's
could.
with your family and your brother.
It's
though.
like, just go in September. Why can't we go in September? What's wrong with that? I was so upset. Here were the two things that I wanted most, Paris or a trip with my older brother. I had been talking about Paris nearly every single day for months. I reminded them of the weeks I was going to be gone. They could have picked any other dates. So they told me I could choose Paris or Cabo with your older brother, which they had also already paid for. Thank God I hadn't yet paid for Paris. Obviously, I was going to choose Cabo, and they knew it too. Again, I do not mean to sound ungrateful. I had an awesome time with my brother and family, but Paris was lingering, like always in the back of my mind.
Go.
Just go.
You have the
Run
money
away.
Yeah, if you have
Though.
the
You've got
money
money.
now.
That's
You
true.
just can't see Taylor Swift.
Which
Yeah.
will save you more money.
Yeah, literally. You could probably stay in Paris for another week.
Yeah, that's
if
honestly
you don't see Taylor Swift.
right. So my mom said again, once we can afford it. That brings us to this year. I found out that we're selling my childhood home, which I'm also bitter about. I had moved to a different province during the summer to work. My mom was keeping me updated about the house, and she kept telling me all the things we'd be able to do with the money that we get from the house. She even mentioned finally being able to go to Paris. So when the house finally sold a few weeks ago, I was devastated, yes, but also excited. We could finally afford it. There was nothing stopping us. I didn't bring it up right away, though. I didn't want to be crass. It's my parents' money, not mine. But I was excited to know the possibility was finally something within reach. This is where things get worse. No, this sucks. It's just one after another. You might have to start letting go of your Paris dream at this point.
No, just go alone. Get your friend that wanted to go for Taylor Swift. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to just go back to Paris? Or get any other person that you know
Yeah.
that I'm sure would love to go to Paris with you.
Right.
Knowing that it's your dream.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, why does it, you have the money now.
Right. Over the summer while I was away, I guess things between my parents were tense. My mom had threatened to move out, and the overall vibe was not great. I wasn't around to sense it, but that was what I heard. They seem okay from what I can tell from being home, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Fast forward to today, the main event. My mom was talking to her older brother. I happened to overhear her, but I don't think she realized I could from her later reaction. She got all excited, and at the beginning, I was excited for them too. They deserved it. But the excitement was over in a flash when I heard the full statement. Andy and I booked 10 days next month overseas. We are starting with a few days in London, and then we are spending the rest of the time in Paris. Oh,
They suck.
my goodness.
They suck.
These guys suck.
They suck so bad.
Are you joking?
Are you actually kidding me?
Oh my God. I felt my stomach and heart drop out of my body. I went up to her with an obviously angry but also hurt expression, and I saw the panic flash across her face like it was a secret she wasn't going to tell until the last minute. She told her brother that I had heard, but I was already in my room in tears. She didn't come to talk to me about it and instead just left the house. Oh my gosh. I was devastated. They could have gone anywhere in the world. Anywhere. I left for work feeling so upset. I ended up going home early since I work in customer service and just could not be around that many people. I got home and just sobbed. Almost 20 years, my mom has been dangling Paris in front of me like a carrot in front of a rabbit, just enough to keep me hoping, but far enough that it was just out of my reach. 20 years of, at the end of this we will go, or once we can afford it, and it will be our special trip, and we will share that experience together. I just am at a loss. The trip we have been talking about for 20 years is happening, but I'm not even going. When my dad got home, he asked me what was wrong. For context, my dad's great. He's funny, kind, but his EQ is sometimes lacking. I vent to him and he doesn't always respond in the best way. That's what happened today. I started to explain that I was upset about their trip, how he knew how bad I have been wanting to go to Paris, how he has always been so uninterested in going. He then interrupted me and started yelling, saying that he would rather go somewhere else, but he is trying to fix their marriage. Oh boy, that it is not fair for me to be upset. That I am being an a-hole for not wanting them to fix things. Oh
no,
my gosh.
literally go anywhere else because you guys actually suck.
Yes.
I don't like you.
No.
Yeah, I like UOP, but not
Oh my gosh.
your parents.
Because it's not even like she's being like a spoiled brat at all. Like at the beginning of the story, I thought that's where it was going to go.
They've been
like,
dangling this over her head
Yeah.
for 20
Yeah.
years.
And it's like, yes, like they couldn't afford it sometimes, but she understood.
yeah,
and
and
they
at
were-
some point it just felt like have good behavior and you get to go.
Exactly.
Have good behavior.
Exactly.
Like,
It's like you can't keep telling me that like once I do
Right.
this, it'll go because it's not up to me.
there needs to actually be the payoff. Like you
Yeah.
can't have this and no like
Right, like, I worked so hard for this. And she even gave it up. She had it and she gave it up for family. And
then you guys go and do it yourselves and then you're yelling at her for being
Yeah.
upset.
just because your marriage is on the rocks? Dude.
That's not OP's fault.
Yeah. But that's not true at all. I didn't know that was why they're going. I want them to fix things. My parents' love for each other makes me believe that I could have it too. I want nothing more than for them to go back to normal. I just don't understand why Paris. They've literally discussed going to Spain and Italy recently, and that's something that my dad is excited to see, unlike Paris. But I am excited to see you listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
There is a little bit more to the story, but yeah, that's such an a-hole move from the mom
Oh
to
my
choose
God.
Paris. When the dad doesn't even want to go, there is a little bit more to this story. And as I'm typing this, I realized that Paris was all my mom's idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. My rich cousin just got back from there, and anytime my cousin does something, my mom feels like she needs that experience too. For example, she was so against the idea of extra piercings. She didn't love when I got my nose pierced, but the second our cousin got snake bite piercings on her upper ear, all of a sudden my mom was all over the idea. She even suggested we get matching piercings and complimented my nose piercing. And this is your cousin, not her cousin. So this is like,
Yikes.
I'm assuming the ages are around the same, but she's getting jealous of like her younger niece. That's pretty wild.
Weird. You got some jealousy issues, Mom.
Yeah. Paris was supposed to be our thing, and I think my mom knows she screwed up too because she won't even look me in the eye or even talk to me. I just overhear them talking about what they're going to do once they get there, and it's breaking my heart even more. I know she will say there are other chances to go, but that's not the point. She's been dangling it for basically my whole life, and now they are going on our trip without me. So Reddit, am I the a-hole here, or is it okay that I'm upset? And that's the end of that story. What do you think?
Fully okay that you're upset.
Yeah.
Go to Paris on your own. With a friend, with your brother.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, see if your brother
Someone's
wants
gotta
to go.
be down to go.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I
because
just cannot believe that.
like I kind of wonder if there was anything else, like any other bad parenting moves from the mom.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it wouldn't really like change the situation at all, but it would just kind of
this seems like a pretty
explain things
big
more.
constant one.
Yeah, right? Because
Yeah.
like again, the other things were like innocent in the moment of just like, yeah, we just can't afford it right now. We're like, yeah, we're doing
But now
this,
I'm
but
like, could you this whole
Yeah.
time and you were just stringing OP along? I refuse to invite my father's side of the family because they always exclude me.
now it's your turn to feel how it feels.
My 23 female dad's side of the family has never been that close to me. My grandparents on that side have always had a favorite grandchild, and I was never the favorite. Maybe that is because my dad's parents hated my mom. My parents are divorced. Or maybe they just don't like me. By the way, this comes from Inkscape Artist, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Angie.
And I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, me and my brother, who is 2 years older than me, are the oldest of my cousins on dad's side of the family. When my brother was born, he was my grandparents' first grandchild. Of course, they were thrilled about a baby boy, and he became their favorite. My brother has always been a bit difficult and got attention in good or bad ways. I have been in his shadow in many ways all of my life because of that. Anyway, then I was born 2 years later. My grandparents babysat us rarely, and I remember those times felt kind of forced to them. My eldest cousin, male, was born when I was 5 years old. He became the new favorite grandchild. Usually, the youngest of the cousins became the favorite. It meant more and bigger gifts, attending school plays, babysitting, and taking trips with the grandparents. As you can probably guess, I never received this attention from them. My grandparents never showed up to my performances, never took me on any trips, never called or texted me to come over, and never gave me the same amount of gifts that other cousins got.
That's crazy.
I wasn't affected by that when I was young. I didn't care or notice it then because of my mother's mother. She has always been there for me, calls me and asks me to come over, and is equal with my cousins. Our families on both sides have always gathered for dinner or coffee for Christmas, Father's Day, Mother's Day, and Easter. My grandparents and uncles always sent the invites to my father. When I moved to my own apartment in my hometown, the invites still kept going to my father only. Yes, my father told me about the invites and I went with him. And yes, I told my grandparents and uncle that it would be appropriate to send the invites straight to me, as I no longer lived with my dad. One of the uncles half listened and started sending the invite straight to me, but I have yet to receive an invite to anywhere from my grandparents or other uncle. I can't even count the times I have missed a birthday or gathering because of that. I still went to every gathering and birthday when I got invited to them by my dad or uncle, but none of the gatherings felt right to me. My grandparents barely talked to me because they were focused on everybody else. And when they did talk to me, they only asked about school briefly. Always the same questions. How's school going? What are you studying now? And how long are your studies? They never seemed to be genuinely interested in me and never remembered what I am studying. Things got worse when I moved to another city for college at the age of 19. No invites came, and I tried to ask when they were gathering in advance because I had to plan my trips to my hometown. I had classes and a job that was mostly night shifts and weekend shifts. The answer from my grandparents, where we gathered, was vague and full of I don't knows. I asked around for the gatherings probably for a year after I moved away, but then stopped because they never told me about the gatherings in advance. Once I was on a train going to my hometown for Mother's Day, and then my dad called me to say that they were going to my grandparents' house and asked if I was coming too. I said no because I was still on the train and never got an invite to go to my grandparents' house that day. That day wasn't even Mother's Day. My grandparents wanted the gathering to be one day early so that they could go to my cousin's sports event. I was really sad and felt outcast and unwelcome.
That is so crazy. Hey, my daughter that lives out of state. Hey, are you coming over
Like,
to
right
the grandparents'
now?
house right now?
Oh.
How would I even think to do that? That's crazy.
That day, I decided I would not go to my grandparents' house if they didn't ask me to visit. Now that I've lived in another city hours away from my relatives, the situation has worsened. I don't get invites to go anywhere or gifts, not even to Christmas gatherings.
Oh my gosh.
I think they do know that I am in my hometown for Christmas every year because of my father. I never get calls from any of them, and this year my grandma sent me a happy birthday message on the wrong day.
Oh my god.
That is all the connection they even try to make with me. I don't know if they are mad at me for something unknown to me and don't invite or call me because of that. My dad always tells me that I have done nothing wrong and that my grandparents think I'm so independent and do well in life that I don't need them. I feel like I am nobody to them. I felt like air every time I saw my grandparents or uncles and their families. It feels unfair that I am the only one of the cousins who does not get included. My mother was at my cousin's 12th birthday a few weeks ago. No, I didn't get invited. Regardless of the divorce and the hate she got from my dad's parents because the birthday girl is my mom's goddaughter. My mom then told me on the phone about the party and that my grandfather had asked about my brother, who lives hours away too, and if he's coming to visit them. I then asked my mother if my grandparents asked about me. My mom was silent for a moment and then admitted that they did not ask about me.
God.
How nice.
This is so terrible.
I felt like heir to them once again.
This is so crazy.
They all suck, OP.
It's like, I don't even know what to say because it's just one after another. They just,
Right.
like, don't even think you exist at this point.
I'm like, do you even want to get invited anymore? Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
right?
I know you do. Everyone
Right.
wants to be. But, like,
Sure.
my
This is-
advice would be distance them. Hang out with your brother, maybe?
Yeah.
So, my graduation party is coming next spring. And me and my fiance are thinking about
Wow.
having a wedding sometime in 2026 or 2027.
Whoa, fiance
Wow.
alert.
Fiance alert.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I want to invite my dad's parents or my uncles and their families to either of the occasions. In a way, why should I if they are not a part of my life and never invite me anywhere? When I have visited my grandparents, it only made me feel sad about the exclusion of me and favoritism towards everybody else. On the other hand, they might be upset if I don't invite them, and they are family after all. Am I the a-hole for not inviting half of my relatives to my graduation party or wedding? What would you do in my situation? We do have an update. You're not the a-hole if you don't
No.
invite them.
No.
Boo-hoo if they're sad about it.
Yeah. No, totally.
It's your wedding.
Yeah. I also worry too, like if she does invite them, what their reaction would be.
Yeah.
Like, would they even want to go?
Right.
At
Or
this
if the
point?
rejection of them not wanting to go, if that could.
Yeah.
You could
that would
always
hurt.
invite them to graduation and see how that goes as like a
Like a test.
predecessor for the wedding, like
Yeah.
a wedding test.
Yeah.
But update. Thank you all for your kind words and congratulations. You all have made me realize that I am drowning in sadness over nothing. I am a big people pleaser, and your comments and insights have given me the courage to not invite them
Woohoo!
and not let them ruin my celebrations.
Yay!
A lot of you pointed at my dad because he never stood up for me. You are right. I have told my dad about these feelings I've had for years. He listened but never took action and never said anything to his own dang parents and brothers about it. I also have to fill you in on what's going on between my dad and his parents. When my parents got divorced, my dad moved on pretty quickly. He married a woman that manipulates my dad a lot and has created a lot of conflict and tension over the years between me, daddy's little girl, and my dad.
Oh no.
My dad has changed a lot, and we are not that close anymore because his new wife is in between us. I moved out at 17 because of her.
Wow.
Would you want to hear more about my stepdevil mom? By the
Sure.
way, you can always hear more about a lot of different stories by listening to full episodes with stories just like this one. To go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. We've got a little bit more, but what are we thinking?
I would love to hear more about that, the stepdevil mom. Why not?
Another story, OP?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. But yeah, this is just that's so insane.
Yeah.
Please don't invite them.
They suck, and I'm glad you're not inviting them.
Yeah.
At first, my dad's parents loved his new wife. Then, I don't even know all the details of what was said and done by the new wife, but the result is that my dad is not speaking to his parents or brothers much.
Oh man.
My grandparents showed up to their wedding and barely said a word. They looked quite uncomfortable in the situation. I get it. No one besides my dad really likes his new wife. But yeah, maybe that is part of the reason why my dad never stood up for me in any way. And honestly, if my dad says something to his parents now and they try to reach out to me, I wouldn't know how to respond. At that point, it would feel so stupid, unwanted, and forced. I am still a bit sad and angry about the situation, but I am dealing with my feelings and thoughts. Thank you all for the support and observations. They helped me a lot. Heart. That's
Oh,
the end of
good.
that story.
Yeah,
Good
that-
for you, OP.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
Right. It makes a lot of sense that you wouldn't even know how to respond. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, what, you want to start a relationship now?
yeah.
After all of that, like, just pure rejection? It's not even, like, neglect. Like, it's just
Fully
rejection.
ignoring. Just
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, it's so insane.
Rough.
Yeah, I hope, like, you... It doesn't seem like you have some family. Maybe you have some chosen family that
Yeah.
is good to you.
Your fiance, your
Yeah.
friends, maybe.
Hopefully your fiance's family, too.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of hope for you, OP. Good luck to you in your whole journey with this. And I hope you have other support systems because,
Uh,
it's crazy.
that is crazy.